Stop being so obvious.
He wants you bad.
You know, you're not at all like what I expect you to be the first time I saw you.
How so?
You're just sweet. Dad, meet David McCall.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Same here, David. Nicole's curfew is 12 o'clock.
All right.
Hello. Yeah. You remember that song and dance about David in some perfect little town back east?
Something like that.
Well, guess again. He's got no family, no address, no work record.
What's the big deal?
Big deal, Laura, is that the guy gives me the creeps, and the girl is my daughter.
This is all about David.
Something wrong with him.
But your problem with David, not
He's
mine.
not a good guy. Well, this is gonna stop.
Tell me you need me.
I need you, David.
Nicole!
Relax, Steve. We're friends and practically family.
The guy is a psychopath.
Yeah, something that everybody wants, but nobody has. That's why they're trying to keep us apart.
Disappear from my family's life. You got that?
Guess who? You should have allowed nature to take its course. In the end, it will anyway.
Mr. Walker, you okay? So let me out! Go, Nicole! Lock your door! The phone is dead.
Fear.
Hi. Today my outfit is inspired by one of David's goons. Don't I look very goonish? I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Yeah, we're done with that. Fuck around and I make it your body. One love make it for Hey. I first saw Fear when I was a little girl looking for a movie to watch, and I went through my dad's long list of movies in his collection, and I saw Fear, and I recognized him because my dad also had a Marky Mark CD, which is so funny. But anyways, I went and I watched the movie and it changed my life. It really did. I never realized that was probably the first stalker media kind of movie that I watched where I could be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's a stalker for sure. Like he's really crazy and obsessed. And ever since then, I've never been the same. And so I thought it was only fair and only right to do this movie in the series of stalker media movies that I'm going to talk about. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen Fear, go watch it and then watch this. I'm not doing a breakdown because this movie has been out for a very long time. So if you haven't seen it, go see it or watch a recap and then we can have a conversation. But yeah, let's get into this gig, bitch. Toxic masculinity and control. OMG. It ran rampant here, guys. Like, it was a really bad look. But then again, it was the 90s, so it was like everything outside of the fashion was a bad look, you know? Basically, this movie is a trick. Like, at first, you're getting into it and you think, oh, this is going to be like an interesting story about a relationship between a young man and a young woman. Or you know what? How old is Nicole again? Okay. And how old is David? Okay. You think that this is going to be a cute love story with a twist between a boy and a girl, right? No, lies. Realistically, what this is a silent battle between David and Steven for who is the better man to take care of Nicole. Because God forbid she take care of herself. Actually, God forbid it. If you look in the Bible, there's a verse in there somewhere, don't quote me. There's a verse in there somewhere. Nicole shall not be left alone. Ever. Stevelations 4 verse 3, I'm sure it is. Yes. It's there. It's there. They both want control over Nicole, but why? You know, like Steven's whole story, he doesn't even really know Nicole. He doesn't have a relationship with her. And I'm not even really sure what happened between her and her mother for her to move in with her dad. Like, it seemed that was, correct me if I'm wrong, but not really explained. And for David, part of what draws him to Nicole is her strained relationship with her father.
With my real mom in LA after my dad moved up here. I was 9 years old. It was just the two of us, all alone in this big house. And she was so sad most of the time, and I kind of felt like I was the one taking care of her.
It must have been tough.
Yeah.
But your dad, you get along with him, okay?
I don't know. I mean, I only moved up here about a year ago. It's not like we even know each other that well. How about you? You have parents?
So if you think about these things, they really don't have a reason that they need to control Nicole. I mean, it hasn't even been proven that she can't take care of herself. Granted, she's like 16, so obviously she can't. But like, we didn't even give her a shot. And both of you barely know her.
David, I don't want to beat around the bush. I came to tell you that you're going to stop seeing Nicole. Now, either you're as smart as you think you are and you'll just go away, or else you're going to make things a lot harder on yourself than they have to be.
You know, Steve, you're really not a faggot.
What?
I'm serious. You seem like a pretty solid guy. You should lighten up on yourself.
We're not talking about me. We're talking...
Yes, we are. So that's what this whole thing's about, Steve. Your inadequacies, your fears.
You just wait a minute.
Now listen to me. Some hip to your problems. All of them. I know you abandoned Nicole when she needed you most. Because I licked her sweet tears. I know about things coming apart at work. Maybe you fucking lost it in that department. I also know you ain't keeping up, so to speak, your end of the bargain with the missus. Because if you were, she wouldn't be all over my stick. But relax, Steve. We're friends. We're practically family.
Could it be because Nicole affirms their masculinity? Follow me with Steven. If he's a good father to his daughter, he's a good man.
I gotta go.
Could you drop me off at school? Mustang's way cooler than Mom's car. Please, Dad.
Okay, hurry up. Get your stuff.
All right.
He called me Dad.
For David, if he's a good boyfriend to Nicole, he's a good man. And obviously, for David, he's not a good man. Period. He's not a good boy. He's not a good boy. But because he needs Nicole to kind of actualize this image that he has of himself, or this image that he's trying to portray to other people, he needs Nicole. And so he has to pretend to be, you know, nice and charming and friendly and pleasant. But he's nothing of the sort. He's none of those things. And ultimately, he has violent behavior. What good man? What? Okay.
I also wasn't really too sure at first why it had to be Nicole to reaffirm David's masculinity, but seeing as though he's a stalker, it really could have just been anyone. I think Nicole's naivete and passiveness in general probably made her an easier target.
And so throughout the movie, you see him slowly using isolation and intimidation to try and get Nicole to just believe these things. And like, once she's out of the house, once she's with him, all cards are off the table, you know? But thankfully, we never got to that point. This is all so toxic. It's just a toxic situation. Toxic. I just said that. It's very masculine. This entire movie is just men. All over it. All over it. Script, camera, DVD. I felt icky even picking it up. Right, the goons got this one. The second thing we have is like this father-daughter dynamic, right? And the overprotection of it all. In this movie, there's a thin line. There's this thin line between protective parenting and like controlling parenting. And you never really know what's best for each situation. I mean, obviously you shouldn't try and control anyone. It just never really works. But you also see the struggle that they have between trying to protect Nicole and Nicole growing up and obviously rebelling against that because, you know, she's not her own person yet, and you have to make your own mistakes to become your own person. You have to go and find out some shit you're just gonna have to figure out yourself to see how you deal with that and, you know, what kind of person you are. But that's a hard thing for a parent to see and also accept sometimes. Steve's just being a dad. Steve's just being a dad. And he doesn't like David for whatever reason at first, because if you think about it, he really doesn't have a good reason not to like David until he goes and finds reasons.
Toss me the Kleenex.
Nicole, I want you to understand that whatever you think I may have done to disappoint you is no reason for you to go screw up your whole life.
What? Dad, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what worries me.
Look, Dad, this may come as a big shock to you, but every move I make does not have to do with you. Turns out I'm living my own life.
Not yet, you're not. As long as you're living in my house, you'll follow my rules. That means when you want to go out, I want to know where you're going and with who. And if I don't like it, you're not going.
Don't be ridiculous, Dad.
I'm not kidding, Nicole. This is going to stop.
What? Why don't you just say it? This is all about David.
There's something wrong with
But your problem with David, not
He's
mine.
not a good guy.
Ironically, all of that makes David way more appealing to Nicole. She's never met anyone like David. I also think Steve is just annoying. Like, who wants to be around Steve? You know? Just for example, the first time Nicole mentions a boy to her dad, he wants to meet him immediately.
So who's this guy you were with?
Just a guy.
Is he a good guy?
He's good to his car. You'd appreciate that.
Well, that's a start. Maybe I should meet him.
Dad, I just met him. I don't even know if I'm gonna see him again.
He doesn't get suspicious of David until he starts to insert himself into the family and speaking to the women disrespectfully. He doesn't do anything about these suspicions until he finds out that he slept with Nicole. So there were red flags about David. Little things that were odd, but he never questioned them. It wasn't until Steven saw the condom in Nicole's room that he was like, okay, this is not okay. And I'm like, why did it take that much? Of course, it bothered Steven. You can tell he was visibly he was visibly a little uncomfortable with David, like just coming in and picking up stuff and doing things, but he couldn't really say anything.
Dad, meet David McCall.
Mr. Walker, pleasure to meet you, sir.
Same here, David.
Hey, Toby, right? What's up, big guy? This must be the savage Meeks Kaiser.
That means he likes you.
Yeah? Tell him the feeling is mutual. Oh, you look bigger than your sister described. Maybe you just grew since yesterday. Which one?
So, David, you're not in school with Nicole, are you?
No, sir. But maybe you dub in the fall. I'm just kind of exploring my options, I guess.
McCall, remember you gotta help me plant these trees before you leave. But I gotta get changed.
All you do is one of your chores.
Excuse me, it's Laura, right? Hi, I'm David. I don't want to interfere or anything, but it so happens I work summers in the nursery. I'd be more than happy to give you a hand.
Can I help too?
I couldn't do it without you, partner. Come on, grab the big one. See, the main thing is the moisture content of the soil first.
Another thing, David is like 18 or 19. Steven is 40. Steven, you already lost. Competing with a child? And I get it, like, he's not a child. But I'm 23, and me at 19, me at 18, bitch, you're a baby. Bitch, you're a baby. Like, you don't know anything. You actually know nothing. You never have, you know? So it's just crazy to me that you're actually, like you're really, like, you're like, no, let's go. Like, let's, at 40? You should be tired. You should be asleep. You should be working. I don't know what 40-year-olds do. I'm 23. And that's no shade to 40-year-olds. I'm so excited to be 30. Like, growing old is not a fear of mine. I'm just saying. I feel like when I'm 40, I'm gonna be out of the mix because I'm 40 and I'm allowed to be out of the mix. Like, I don't have to be here, you know? The home invasion climax. Oh my God. Talk about so much stuff happening all at once. So for most of the movie, we were having kind of this constant mental back and forth. Nothing really like palpable happens between them. And all of a sudden, it reaches this climax of, I'm going to break into your home and take the thing that you love most type vibe. Like, it felt weird. No, it was good. But then, like, in hindsight, watching it over for this video, it felt weird because I feel like this scene, this entire scene more than ever just proves my point that this movie was not about David and Nicole. It was about Steve. It was about Steve and David, but morally like Steve, because if he's the protagonist, he's the guy we're following, right? Like, of course, David is a big part of this movie. And of course we can follow antagonists, like Megamind exists, good cinema exists. I mean, this is literally an act of war. And like I said before, you're 40, competing with a not even 20-year-old. He's literally not even half your age. What are you doing? And I do have proof. I do have proof that this is what's happening. I mean, if you look at the people who this was by, the screenwriter, the director, the producer, I will read you their production notes. So, they say that the shocking revelations in this movie are driven by, in this very order, sexual passions, anger, and love. I cannot express how passive Nicole is in this movie. Like, whose sexual passions? Whose sexual passions? David's? Just David's?
Fingers.
Holy shit. Jesus, Steve. What does it say?
I wanted to include these clips because I realized it probably wasn't clear why I'm so suspicious of that. But big trigger warning for what's about to happen now on the screen. Basically, David comes into this bathroom while him and Nicole are not speaking, and is telling her, you have to listen to the real me. It's not the way you see me acting or what you hear me saying. It's this. And he reaches into her, under her skirt, and touches her there and says, we have something that nobody else has. I know it. You know it. Your daddy knows it. And it's like, okay, there are these sexual undertones, but every single time Steven somehow is at the vocal center point of these sexual interactions, which makes no sense to me if this is a relationship between David and Nicole. Like, why would David go beat on this man's car and say, now I've popped both your cherries? Why wouldn't he just beat up his car? Why is Steven the one to discover they're having sex? Why is he the one to find the daddy's girl bracelet and the white lace panties? Suspicious. This movie is supposed to explore contemporary ideas about relationships, family, sex within the framework of a thriller. Okay. Okay. Producer Brian Grazer said, it's every father's nightmare that his daughter will get mixed up with the wrong man. Every father? Speak for yourself. Screenplay writers were Christopher Crowe and James Foley, who was also the director. And about the screenplay, it was said that the screenplay was developed after a skiing trip with his own daughter. And I mean, I keep saying war, but the specific word that they use in the production notes and multiple times is a siege, which is a military operation in which enemy forces surround a town or building, cutting off essential supplies with the aim of compelling those inside to surrender. Right. Now, during the siege, it is mostly Steven fighting. I'm not saying that doesn't make sense. I'm just stating a fact.
Eye for an eye, eh, Mr. Walker, sir? You fuck up my house, I'll fuck up yours!
Steven.
Come on, the refrigerator.
Nicole is helpful. She does do things. She does stuff, but her contributions versus Steven's contributions are vastly different, obviously. If this was about Nicole and David, I felt like it would have been more important for Nicole to take more of the lead and initiative on that attack, because she knows that he's coming for her. She knows that. And yet she's in the room hiding. You know what I mean? Like, what is that supposed to symbolize to me other than this isn't her battle? Which is weird because they're here for you. Okay. The destruction of the Walker's home could also be used as a metaphor for like Nicole losing her innocence or whatever, but I just feel like that was signified slowly throughout the progression of the relationship and slowly how things started to turn. I think Nicole slowly losing her naivety happened throughout the movie. And it was that final scene when she saw Margot and David that it was gone. So what I took away from it was that David's obsession was control over the fear of being alone. Steven's obsession was the control over the fear of losing his daughter again. And I think Nicole's passiveness comes from a place of like naivete. And also I just think that deep down, maybe she feels as though that's what she needs. Oh my God, there's a slug outside. Hi, pretty. This is what she needs. Like, she needs a man in her life. But it's just like, girl, no the fuck you don't. That was another thing I noticed. Like, all of the women are quite passive. Even Laura. Laura doesn't really do much. Where's the slug going? Laura doesn't really do anything except call Nicole a slut, which is hilarious because she's 16 and you're a bitch. And then Margot, oh my God, justice for Margot. Margot could have actually been such an interesting character. She's quite literally there just to like, I wouldn't even say push the plot forward. I would say Nicole is propped up in the movie as this like innocent, all seeing, all protective, like baby, and there needs to be a reason as to why she would mix around with the likes of David. Margot is the reason. Like, Margot is the complete opposite of Nicole, and for some reason they're best friends. But you know what? I really would say it does come from a place of Nicole wanting a father figure in her life, or just like some kind of man in her life, because slowly David starts doing all of those things. Like, we saw how easy he fit right into the family as soon as they met. He starts picking her up from school and taking her places. It's not something that you would think, like, I don't think it's something that you would blink an eye over, seriously, but it's interesting. And David is purposefully trying to step into that role. I mean, the first conversation they have is Nicole telling him, oh yeah, my dad left when I was young, and then he asked to meet the family. He takes the daddy's girl bracelet. Like, oh, the slug's trying to get out. I think they got stuck down the drain. Yikes. David saying he would do anything to protect her from guys that want to hurt her, which obviously you can sense the irony there, but I mean, doesn't that sound like a father figure? Something a father figure would say to a young person? At the beginning, when Margot and Nicole are having that Playboy magazine conversation, maybe that inspires Nicole to kind of like overlook some of the red flags because David is showing her so much attention.
God, I bet it'd be a rush.
You wouldn't really do it.
Why not? I mean, who wouldn't want millions of guys fantasizing about them?
It's power. It's nuts.
What, it doesn't feel good to be wanted?
Hey, what about Jason Fuller? He wants you bad. He doesn't want me. He just... I don't really know what he wants. Every time I go out with him, I kind of feel like I should be paid for babysitting.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if that was some sort of like underlying theme of the movie because of how like non-personal all of the female characters are in this movie. They just want to be adored. So it's like they don't have brains. Like, okay. Nicole does have moments where she actually says things and puts her foot down. But I guess you can chalk it up to being 16. It never really sticks. So it's like, yeah, she says something and then the next day she doesn't really feel that way anymore, which is fair. But I would have loved to see her experience that herself, or see more of like her mental on it. Like, you don't really know how Nicole feels about any of the things that are happening to her. You just see all of it happening to her. I wrote this down while watching the movie. David's speech about being her dad, protector, got her to forgive him. She loses one dad and gains another. Why and what does that say about her? And I mean, that's quite literally, she goes between, if I'm mad at my dad, I like David. If I'm mad at David, I like my dad. I think there's only one time where they're actually getting along. All of them. And it was a sham. Oh, another thing, when she sees David assault Margot, when she sees David assault Margot, she blames Margot. Granted, she's still not talking to David, but she literally treats Margot like actual dirt and dust. Dander, if you will. That's just something that I noticed, but because there's really not enough of the characters to go off of, I can't really say what's what. I just know that that is something that I noticed and something that bothers me. And I guess it really bothers me because it's like, I can't even get to the bottom of it because you won't allow these women to speak. But anyways, yeah, those were the main themes. Ultimately, I just really wish I didn't have to watch a movie about two men fighting over who's the manliest man. I don't care.